Morgan here. So today I wanted to quickly talk to you about how you can find local farms in your area to buy directly from them. There are several ways, and in a blog post, in a video a while back, I had mentioned that people should go to farmers markets and make connections with local farmers, see if they sell, to the public outside of the farmers market and all that. And I had a few people say that there are no farmers market going on right now, which totally makes sense. I've seen farmers market in my area, but that doesn't mean it's happening, anywhere else. So I'm going to talk to you about just a few ways that you can find local farms in your area to buy directly from them. So number one way is to look on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something. Not usually, but sometimes farmers will sell stuff, like especially on Facebook and Craigslist, and they'll especially sell, like local honey. They'll be like, hey, I'm a local farm and I sell honey, hey, come get this, right? And then you can contact them directly and be like, yeah, cool, I want some honey, but also I'm looking to create like a long-term relationship of buying honey from you, right? Or whatever the case may be. Now, another way is to simply do a internet search and, search, let's say you're in Phoenix Farms, okay? There are a ton of dairy farms around here. There's a ton of cornfields, there's a ton of hay, there's a bunch of stuff, and not all of these farms may be for you. Maybe they're for your animals, right? So, you may be able to buy milk directly from dairies. You may be able to buy compost or manure directly from certain farms. Hay, if you have animals that eat hay. There's a variety of different types of farms depending on what you're looking for. But not always, but most farms will have at least a kind of, like a Google listing or like a local business listing, a Yelp listing, something. They may not. So if you're having trouble that way, another way is to potentially go into an area that has farming, that has some farmland or something. If you live in the heart of Manhattan, right, there's probably not going to be a lot of farming, in Manhattan. But if you drive a little bit upstate, there might be a little bit of farming there. So drive a little bit and get to some sort of farm area. Stop by a local gas station, a local small market. Stop by a local place, right? And just be like, hey, I'm looking to see if there's any farms or butchering shops or anything that I can buy from local. We actually did this once. We stopped by a local little produce stand and we bought a bunch of groceries from them, and then they didn't have a whole big meat selection. So we said, hey, do you know anywhere that sells meat locally here? And then they pointed us right down the road to a butcher that sells all sorts of meat. So we now know where to source meat locally. We know how to source many things locally. And so that's kind of the key. If you walk into a grocery store, especially, and you see, those local produce, be like, what, I really want to continue buying from you, but, I'm just kind of looking into, the future and wondering if you know of anybody that would sell, produce or milk or whatever you're looking for direct to the customer instead of like on a wholesale basis or whatever. Just ask. The next way is going to be ask your neighbors. Just, ask the local community, neighbors, whoever, and just be like, hey, I'm looking to buy some local, whatever. Would you happen to know where I could find that? If they don't, maybe somebody else does. Your neighbors may actually have backyard chickens, so they may be a good source to get some eggs. You just don't know. Maybe they have a little garden that maybe you could barter some stuff with them. You never know. There may be a local gardening association or a bee association or some sort of farming association or something like that, in which you may be able to contact them in order to source, any type of produce or meats or whatever, right? So just ask around. It doesn't hurt to just ask around, email, call. A lot of these associations aren't having any meetings right now, but I talked to a really great place, a local bee association, about getting some bees, and they were really nice, and they directed me to like a whole bunch of people about bee classes and all that. So you never know what kind of information you're going to get when you reach out to people. A lot of these places can actually be found on like meetup.com. Then just doing an internet search, you know, bee association, farm association, garden association, whatever. You know, these people may have local sources that are going to be useful to you. Bottom line, whoever you're talking to, just make sure that you're being nice and friendly, and you're trying to be as upfront as possible. You're not trying to be sneaky or underhanded or undermining them in any way. And you know, just ask for any referrals, just ask what they do, you know, the pricing, all this. Just really be honest and be nice. I've never experienced any negativity whenever I've asked for any local sources. We even stopped a guy the other day. We wanted to know if we could buy some hay directly from somebody, and we stopped some guy that was just in a golf cart, just like rolling along their field, and we were like, hey, we stopped them, and they told us where to go. You don't know where your sources are going to lead. So, you know, even if it's somebody that doesn't look like, you know, they're the head of the place, you know, they might know something. If you can't go to a local farmer's market, look online, drive into rural areas, ask neighbors, or just simply, you know, look around on Facebook, a marketplace, or Craigslist for any type of ads. People that are selling any type of farm types of equipment, or farm type of food, or whatever. You may just ask them, you know, just be like, hey, you know, do you know anybody? Word of mouth and referrals are really popular. So just get out in there and start talking to people, finding those resources in your local area. You'll find at least somebody, even if it's, you know, even if it is 2 hours away. That's better than, you know, having absolutely zero resource or anything. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful. Buying local is really great. You may not be able to find every single thing that you need from local sources, but I think you'll be able to find quite a bit. You'll be surprised what's out there, especially all across the US. So I know we were definitely surprised what we found down here. So thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.